What's up guys, it's Coop Dizzle here and welcome back for episode 20 on the StreamCraft server. We're just catching a really beautiful sunset. It is a gorgeous evening here on the StreamCraft server. And we've got some good projects lined up today. Yeah, there's the floating island mob farm. So basically today we've got to get some stuff done on this mob farm. The farm itself was pretty much complete. I had a couple of issues. I fixed one of them. And let me just get back into this thing here. Yep, there we go. I better go have a sleep real quick before it starts getting too dangerous. But anyway, so I've got one more thing to fix, and that's how the water flows are working out. So the main thing we're going to do, I'm going to show you guys here in just a second. In fact, let me go ahead and sleep, and then I'll show you the big project that we have for today. Well, actually, real quick, I wanted to show you this map update. Now, it's been a few episodes since we've updated the map together, and mostly just because I was running out of time on the episodes, but check it out. Since the last time we updated this map, the Gurkha villager tower has been added, and also now you can see the floating island. And you can't tell that it's a floating island, but it's a little bit more forest that we have covered. We're going to get a little bit more of that done today, I think. But also, well, this is kind of unrelated, but do you see this really weird square over here? That is some kind of chunk loading. Oh, crap! Oh, I'm glad that wasn't a creeper. Oh my. Alright, so anyway, yeah, there's some sort of weird chunk glitch, and it happens out here, and I don't know why that is. See, there's another one right there. That is a random chunk loaded in the middle of a pond, otherwise what would be a really nice pond. I bet that line is one there too, so I'm glad that this isn't popping up in my base. But anyway, what am I rambling on about? Let's head out here real quick and go check out what we've got to do. So, I think I was saying I still have to fix the water flows and the mob trap, so we're going to get that done before the end of the episode. That'll probably be something I just do off camera. But I need a collection system. So I can't really AFK here yet because I don't have a collection system set up. So here's where I was planning on doing this. Now you can kind of see where it's a little bit lit up. Excuse me. You can see where it's a little bit lit up. That's where the mobs are falling from. And so what I wanted to do was, we have this hill that was just naturally generated here. And I wanted to kind of dig into it. As you can see, I've already started. And I want it to kind of look like the island was lifted out of this. So I can't do that 100% because I did add another part of the island, this other half of it over here, and that it sort of fits in with what's already going on over here, but not completely. So I'm not going to be that picky, okay? But I do want to go ahead and use that idea over here. And then in the center, we're going to have a platform of hoppers where they can just die and, that sounds harsh, but where they can just fall to their death, and then stuff will be dropped down. And maybe, I think what we'll do is maybe build a little, I don't know, like entrance over here on the side where you can just kind of walk down and get all the sorted loot. So I think that'll be really good. I don't think that platform is going to be quite big enough. That's a 5x5. I think I'm going to have to extend that to maybe a 7x7. They're falling out of a 3x3 tunnel, and that's to kind of help prevent spiders from clogging up the system. So they're falling out of a 3x3, and they could kind of go a couple of blocks either way. So yeah, I think a 7x7 is going to work there. And so anyway, I've got a lot of landscaping kinds of things to do around here to pretty this up. I'm not sure if I should do that first or do the sorting system first. I reckon I should do the sorting first. So we'll probably do that. I do have some of my materials together. Not all of them though. So like I've got a load of hoppers, probably more than I need, a load of chests. Hopefully I don't need more than that, but we'll see. And some other stuff, but not much. And the main thing is I need a lot more comparators. And I've pretty much converted all my quartz into blocks. So I'm going to have to go quartz hunting. I think that'll be the first thing that I do. I'll just do that off camera. But also, I just kind of wanted to show this real quick as well. I added these waterfalls coming off of the island. And one of them came down right to about here. And it happens... See that ugly chunk error, man? That's what I was rambling on about. I'm going to have to tear that down at some point. But every once in a while it changes too. So if I tear it down, I'm worried it's just going to come back. I don't know what to do about that. But anyway, moving on. So there was already like a water thing here, a water feature, and it looks really bad at the moment, but we could pretty it up and make a little, what do you call it, a little grove in there. And so anyway, basically all I did was I just kind of laid out a path for a little stream that'll happen. So the water will hit here and then come down and around and then fall into that water feature over there. So we can pretty that up and make that look really cool in the future too. Gosh, what else? And I'm even thinking about making it so that it looks like the water hits and then splits in two ways, and maybe turn this into a pond of some sort. So although if we do that, it would look prettier, but then this platform is going to stick out, might stick out even more because it'd be in the middle of a pond, so we'd have to find a way to dress that up too. Anyway, guys, I've been rambling way too long, so I'm going to hop into the nether, get some quartz, get some more stuff made up, and then I think we're going to see if we can get this sorting system figured out. Alright guys, so I've made quite a bit of progress here on our collection system. It's been a couple of days since my last cut. I just kind of had to take a couple of days off, I think, from recording, and I still played a little bit, but I think that's probably a sign that after doing the gherkin and after doing the floating island that I'm getting a little bit worn out. So I think probably this is the only project we're going to get done for this episode, and then in the next episode, well, I don't know if it's going to be over there, or maybe over there would be good, but we need to get a tree farm online pretty soon so that I can do more work on these custom trees and things like that. So I think we're going to, this episode and the next episode, we're going to take it a little bit easy, you know, and I think, you know, like I've been playing vanilla for, gosh, close to a year and a half, I think, pretty much non-stop. And a lot of people that I know, they kind of get burned out on Minecraft, and that I don't get burned out, I just get kind of tired. So I think when you start to feel that way, maybe take a little break, you know, work on some smaller projects. Don't try and go over the top all the time. So anyway, I just wanted to have a quick chat to you about that. Oh, and also while I'm at it, next week, in fact, I may or may not be able to get an episode out next week, and that's because my work schedule coming up is going to be very, very hectic. Virtually every night of the week and on both days on the weekend, I have stuff going on, so it's really going to limit the amount of time that I have to play and of course to record. So I'll do my best, guys. We'll see what we can get done, but don't worry, if there's not an episode next week, just hang in there because I'll for sure get one out the week after that. But anyway, so here's what we've got going on here now. I had to move. The last time you saw this, we had a platform that was kind of close to surface level. And what was happening was I was AFKing in the tower, and I came down here and I had like no mob drops. And I knew that the system was working because I could hear the monsters inside the trap. So I thought, what's going on? So I hopped on my camera account. It turns out that the distance between me and the tower and this plot of land here was so far away that the monsters were despawning mid-air before they had a chance to hit the platform. So really, this was the only option that I had, was to make this platform up here, and I've verified that that works now. I've done some more AFK, I've got a stack and a half of, you know, various things, and so it's going to be kind of ugly, it's going to stick out, and I really don't like doing stuff like that. I like to make things look a little bit prettier, but it's the best that we can do for the system that we've built up here. So not to worry though, I mean I can dress this up and make it look like a nice platform. I just don't know, you know, how to make that a practical thing, I guess is what, you know. I was saying earlier, or maybe in a previous episode, I don't like, you know, farms that are just obviously farms, you know, like that one's hidden away really nice, and all of our farms are going to be hidden away, like all these farms over here are hidden away quite well, for example. So, I might have to come up with some kind of story. Where's that spider at? Might have to come up with some kind of story for why this platform exists at a later stage. But anyway, so enough with that. We've got that, and it works. You can see it uses a ton of hoppers. Let me just get some stuff on my hotbar here, and we will seal this up like so. And then come down here. So right where we came in, I'm going to build some sort of little shack or something kind of in the side of the hill there. And then you'll walk down here and walk down a staircase like so, and come into some sort of room. I have no idea what we're going to do design-wise in here. But anyway, and it'll have these chests. So if we just go through here, these are going to be bones, arrows, string, spider eyes, rotten flesh, gunpowder, and all witch drops. That's not a witch drop, neither is that. So all the witch drops will go in here, just because so few of them spawn that it doesn't make sense to me to have like chests for each separate drop. So if we head back here, let's see, is this a good way to get to it? And did I spot? Okay, no, I just got paranoid. I thought I saw a creeper over here or something, but obviously not. Anyway, so this is our item sorting system right here. Now, I used this in the Gurkha, but I don't think I explained how it works. So, just for the sake of anyone who has not done this before, I'll explain this really quickly. So, what we have here is we have a long chain of hoppers. The one that goes up to that platform up there, that kind of comes down to here in this chest, and then gets filtered, or rather picked up by this hopper, and these hoppers all run into each other, so all the way down this line, and they just go straight across all the way to that last vertical column of hoppers at the end there, which is for our witch drops. So all of the drops then get filtered, and it kind of works like this. Let me see if I can explain it. So an item passes through here, and what's going to happen is this dropper, or this hopper, sorry, is going to try and pull it down. But in here we have the item that we want to go down this column of hoppers, and only that item. And so you have to put in like 22, is it? Yeah, 22 of an item, and you want it set up so that no other item will pass through the hopper. So I just kind of set it up like this. And then for added measure, on the hopper below, I also filled all of those spots up with bones as well in this case. Now this comparator, anytime, let's say a bone comes down the hopper chain here, and this hopper will look and say, well, can I pick up anything from this hopper? And it can only pick up bones, but if it detects a bone, it'll pull the bone down in here, and since there's more than 18 bones right here, this comparator is going to pick that up, and then put a signal to these redstone, this redstone dust here, which will activate this repeater, which is going to turn off this torch. Now that's important because when you have a redstone torch underneath a hopper, it locks the hopper, meaning that no items can pass through here. So if I were to put like another bone in here right now, it would just stay there because of the redstone torch being turned on. So when this gets powered by this stuff up here, it deactivates the torch, which allows a bone to pass through into here, which can then get filtered down and into the chest like so. So anyway, I basically did that for all of the... They must be up there, I guess. The mobs, that is. But anyway, so I did that for all of these. Like you can see, we've got the arrows, we've got the string, we've got the spider eyes, the rotted flesh, the gunpowder, and then there's no item sorting here because basically anything else that comes in is going to be a witch drop. So all of those will all go into the same place, which will be this row of chests here. So anyway, and I tested it out, I put a bunch of stuff into the system and it all gets sorted properly, so we're good to go on that. So I think the next thing to do, I mean that means this is basically done, it's functional, now we just have to decorate this bad boy. So I think the first thing I'm going to do, I'm not sure if I should do the top decorating bits or the bits down here. I think I'm going to do the top bit first. So we're going to get a, I think we're just going to do a pond over, I'm going to get my sword ready. We're just going to do a pond up here. So we've already got a couple of ponds, but that's cool. I might make the water level on this one a tiny bit lower, and I think the water going into the pond is going to come from this waterfall here, so that'll kind of drop down. And I basically have all this dug out so I can just drop blocks on top of everything. So everywhere, it's already dug out. You know, like you can see there's a gap of 2 there, so that's kind of the last grass level. And after that, when I put blocks down, it's going to be one of the blocks that we want underneath the water, which is going to be probably like coarse dirt and soul sand and regular sand and maybe some other brown blocks or something like that. We'll put some trees and things around here just to make it look like the dark forest, And of course I have to decorate this thing a bit too. So I think I'm going to go for a design that resembles the fantasy tower on top of the floating island up there. So I think that kind of makes sense. And then we might do something like that for the shack over here as well. So I think I'm going to go ahead and get that built off camera as well before I do the next progress update. So anyway guys, I've got a ton of work to get done. This is quite a involved little project here. So I'm going to go get all that stuff done and I'll show you what it looks like. Alright guys, well I've made quite a bit of progress here, and right when I was going to start recording, this giant tree popped up here and kind of blocked a really nice view of our pond. So it's not completely finished in terms of landscaping and things, but let's just hop down here real quick. You can kind of see what I've been up to. So I built this pond in here, and I actually did a lot of customization on the bottom that you can't even really see. The lights only help out a little bit underwater, but you can kind of see some of the materials I was talking about. And this time I went for more of a patchy look as opposed to a uniform look, and I think that turned out a lot better than what I did in the previous pond. So just mixing them up a lot more. Instead of using like all soul sand at the bottom and then sand or whatever, it's a lot more patched up, and I think that's nice. Now still waiting on some of these trees to grow in here, and you can kind of see what I did there. Now I used to do this a different way. I think I showed in a different episode how you can use glass blocks to create a cage. Well, it turns out this is actually more effective at getting the tall trees. So you just put 4 blocks, or actually I've done this with 3 blocks and it worked out pretty well. 3 blocks is what I did on the island, but you use 3 dirt blocks or 4 and put torches there next to the sapling, and then you just have to wait. So you can see we're still waiting on a lot of them to grow in over here, but I got some of the plant life down and things like that. Not all of them will grow in tall. Like you can see this one, well actually that's still kind of a big tree. That's a nice tree, but I did get a couple of small ones around here somewhere. Like there was one right there, and that was with the same setup as all of these other ones have. So alright, from here you can see the killing platform a whole lot better. Now I'm not 100% convinced that this looks alright, but I don't know, I kind of like it. I was going for something a little fantasy looking and something a little bit, I don't know, crazy looking, but also something that kind of ties into what we did at the top of the floating island. So I think it does. I think it fits in. I'm just not sure about these poles that kind of stick out with the torches, but I had to do some kind of lighting because otherwise, like when I started, it was completely dark except for I don't know, maybe right at the top, but all of this, it was almost black, especially with that dark oak wood. So we had to do something for lighting, and it definitely looks a lot better. Oh, dang it, I missed a slab. I'll have to fix that later. But yeah, I tried all kinds of things with the tower, and I think this one's a little more simple than some of the other stuff that I tried out, but I think that that's a lot better. So anyway, we've got this all decorated up, and it's coming in. We're just waiting on some trees. Eventually I'll have to come back in and customize the trees by adding logs and leaves and things like that. But right now, we've got to work on the interior of this. Now, I think I described this as just a little shack that would be built into the side of the hill, and that's exactly what it is. It's just a little shack. I didn't want to have anything too big, and it's kind of tough to get a really neat design for the front of the structure when you've only got, you know, 5 blocks wide to work with. So I don't know, it's not that great, but when we walk in here, I've got this area dug out a little bit more than before, and everything's pretty much ready for me to just come in here and start adding a bunch of blocks, you know. So that's what I'm going to get to doing, guys. I have no idea what I'm going to do for the interior of this place, but that's what I'm going to work on next. So I will get that all worked out, and then I will see you when it's finished. Alright guys, well everything is finished. I'm really excited to show it to you, but actually I almost forgot there's something else I wanted to do in this episode, and before we do, I guess before we finish the episode, oh my gosh, where am I looking? Okay, let's do the 16 chunks. I have a new neighbor. So KR was hanging out in the area, and he said he was kind of tired of working in the mushroom biome, and he kind of wanted to go somewhere else, and so he was scouting out and came over to my base. There it is. You see that? It's really faint, but do you see that little house off in the distance? Maybe if I go off to the side, it's off to the right. Yeah, hopefully you can see it over there, guys. Anyway, that's KR's new digs, And yeah, he said he was thinking about doing like a jungle base of some sort. I was like, well, hey man, there's still plenty of jungle that I haven't torn down, so, you know, maybe come hang out over here. I'd love to have you as a neighbor. And so sure enough, man, I was hanging out up here and saw that house off in the distance. So anyway, before we wrap up the video, I'd like to go drop off like a housewarming gift. So I've got tons of stuff from the villager trading over at the Gurkha villager tower. So I'm going to go grab some stuff from over there, and then I'll meet you guys over at KR's place. Alright guys, so we finally made it here, and yeah, it looks like this is KR's house. I don't think he's done too much over here yet, but he just kind of moved over, and I imagine he's probably going to need a lot of time to kind of move his stuff in and all that too. So anyway, yep, definitely looks like he's still working on moving in here. I imagine that probably goes down to a mine shaft. But anyway, I would peek through the chests, but no, I brought my own. So you just saw all the stuff that I brought here. So I just wonder what would be a decent place to kind of set this down. Don't want to move that torch. Maybe here. I don't know. That's kind of a weird place, but he definitely won't miss it. And then we'll just put this down here, and we will say housewarming gift. And from Coop. Alright, that'll work. So, weird sign placement. Oh man. Okay, so anyway, so what I've got for him here is a whole bunch of stuff that I have gotten from the Gurkha. So, the Gurkha is based off of the Gherkin in London. And but I want to call it the Gurkha because one, it sounds like gherkin, and two, Gurkha is a brand of cigar. Now, most of you probably don't smoke cigars. I do on occasion, not too often, but and actually, when I do, I don't smoke Gurkhas. But on my wedding day, once upon a time, they were my favorite cigar, and on my wedding day, I had a Gurkha. So I thought that would be kind of a cool little personal thing to put into the base. And these are uneven, so let's just do something like this. And let's see, hay bales. Well, hang on, let's just do the food first. I should have brought more pumpkin pies. Oh well, so we brought pie, we brought, let's just do, I guess it doesn't matter how much we have in each one. We'll just do the cookies in the other spots right there. I think I'm going to throw the cake on the ground. And then if we do something like this with the hay bales, maybe like that, and over here as well, that's looking pretty good. And then we will decorate the rest of this thing with emeralds. What do you think, guys? I think this is a pretty awesome housewarming present myself. I would not mind getting all this stuff. Alright, yeah, that's looking really cool. I think you'll like it. And then we will just throw this down. Can we throw it on top of the... Yeah, perfect. Cool. Oh, man. I wish that KR did LPs. I would love to see his reaction to this. But I'm sure that he'll love it. Now, the enchanted gear you get from villagers isn't particularly good. So, in the case of the diamond picks, that's why I went ahead and brought 4 of them over. So, it takes 2 efficiency 2s. He can make an efficiency 3. And this will let him make another efficiency 3, which will let him get an efficiency 4. And that by itself isn't particularly great, but I'm sure he can combine those with stuff. I mean, it's the best I can do without using my own levels, which I can't really afford right now. So anyway, there you go, KR. If you're watching this video, I hope that you enjoy that. Alright guys, well I just finished AFKing here in the tower on top of the floating island. And so let's go ahead and wrap this episode up. We'll head down to the surface and I will show you guys the finished product. So there's still a little bit of work to be done in the pond area. Whenever I get some more oak logs, I'll go back through there and customize the trees, and that'll make things look a bit better too, because I'll get to add the vines and all that good stuff. But anyway, let me show you guys my quick way down here. I used the nether portal to get up, but to get down, this is actually a lot more fun. So, awesome. I love it. I'm sorry about this rain. I kind of wanted to wait. Oh, it looks like I wouldn't have had to wait too much longer. Oh, beautiful. How about that? Like on cue or something. So anyway, the rest of these trees grew in over here, and like I said, I still have to customize them and throw vines on them and stuff like that, but our pond is definitely looking a lot better. And I do have an idea for giving this tower a purpose. One of my favorite YouTubers is Slipgator, and I went back, whenever I first subbed to him, I went back and rewatched his single-player survival, Surviving Sliptopia, which is a fantastic series. And it's old Minecraft, but if you don't mind that, it's a really cool base project that he did. Not right at the beginning. It was kind of around episode 50 or 80 or I don't know when he started the big base. But anyway, so he had this thing. It was an altar to Notch, and it was a little bit outside of his city, and it was a lot less detailed than this, I guess you could say. But he just made a little notch symbol in a pond, kind of like this one, and he would go sacrifice things to it and stuff. It was a good bit. But anyway, I thought maybe, since this is sort of a killing platform, that might be a sacrificial thing, and maybe it could be an altar of some sort. Maybe to Notch, or maybe not. Maybe we could just say it's an altar, but let me know what you guys think about that, because personally, even though Notch is gone from Mojang, I still kind of consider him the Minecraft creator or the Minecraft god. And so whenever things go good, I thank Notch. Whenever things go bad, I thank Notch. Or blame Notch, I guess. So let me know what you guys think. We could come and put a Notch symbol on here and make it an altar to Notch, which might be kind of a cool thing. Let me know in the comments what you think. But anyway, let's wrap this episode up. So you've already seen the outside of the shack. So let me just close this door here, and look at this, guys. First impressions. I am really happy with how this turned out. It looks kind of like some kind of cabin or something with all of the different wood colors, but I think that's fitting considering that we were in the dark forest. Not a lot of wall design right in these kind of areas, but I didn't have a lot of room to work with. But check this out, guys. I really like this. This is a smaller version or a thinner version of what you'll see in the main room, but there's just a little bit of detail on the ceilings, not much, and a little bit of detail here. This is similar again to what you're about to see, and I think the coal blocks work pretty well. And yeah, I just think it works really well with the dark woods and stuff like that. The dark wood colors, I should say. And I really love doing things with stairs and floors. I think it adds so much detail. But anyway, let's go ahead and walk down here and check it out, guys. This looks so awesome. I'm really happy with how this turned out. Now, this was actually really tough. It took me a lot of time to do. And that's because I'm not used to doing stuff like this. But I've been inspired recently by some other builders, and I've noticed that they use 3 deep walls. So like you can see, here's the back of the wall design, and it's 1, 2, 3, and of course the frame is part of the wall design as well. So yeah, I think that turned out pretty cool, and I really like how it kind of gives you this optical illusion of like an X effect, even though each layer is, I mean, it's not curving out, but it kind of looks that way, which I think is really neat. So let me know if you guys like these kinds of wall designs. They're a lot more complex, they're more time consuming to do, but I think it's really neat. And when we get to the underground part of our base, I think I'd like to do wall designs something along these lines. It just gives you a lot more to look at. So like if you can imagine going down a tunnel and both sides of the walls are like that, I think that would be really cool. So let me know what you think about that. It also gives the room, makes it feel a bit more spacious and open, and gives this kind of rounded shape too right here, which is kind of interesting. The ceiling design I'm not totally happy with, but it's something, it's detail, so you know, it's not bad. And the floor design, I like how that turned out as well, although again I kind of struggled with that, but I think that turned out pretty good. And also kind of has this diamond shape a little bit too, which I like. So it's a lot of redstone lamps, but I don't know, I think it turned out really good. The only thing I wish I could have done, I tried really hard to find a way to get some green in here, because we used a little bit of green on that tower on the island, but it just wasn't happening, so I wasn't going to try and force the issue. But anyway, so yeah, when you walk in here, you've got all of your mob drops, and these are the chests you've already seen, and they're all kind of labeled. I AFK'd for a handful of hours, and I got about half a double chest of resources of just about everything. So that's coming along. Well, not so much the string. or spider eyes. So the spider drops are a little bit low, but everything else is pretty good, I would say. And of course the witch drops are less, but that's expected. So yeah, but you know, the power of a small farm is that with some AFK time, you know, I could be asleep and this could be filling up anyway, so it's all good. But anyway, guys, I think that is going to do it for us today. I hope that you enjoyed the video. I hope you had a good time. I certainly did. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. And if you did enjoy the video, please hit the like button. And if you're new to this series, please subscribe and you can follow along with us as we work on our epic base. But anyway, guys, that's going to do it for me. So again, I hope you enjoyed it. May you be happy, may you be well. And until next time, take care. I'll see you later.